On this edition of Good Day DePaul, new court action gives hope to international students, including 2 here at DePaul.
Pope Francis, Catholic at DePaul, remember his legacy.
And DePaul's Clothesline Project spreads sexual assault awareness. I'm Wayne Wyatt.
And I'm Joseph Francis, and this is Good Day DePaul.
Legal development involving international college students and their visas, and it impacts some at DePaul. Good Day DePaul's Aaron Gessert has details.
The Trump administration is reversing course on canceling international students' legal status in the U.S. But before this announcement came, thousands of international students had their records terminated in a government database called SEVIS, which maintains information on those students. 2 of them attend DePaul. Vishnu Nali and Satya McCarthy sued the Trump administration, trying to get their legal status back. According to court documents, Nali's status in SEVIS was reinstated on April 28th. On April 24th, Judge Thomas Durkin granted a temporary relief order in McCarthy's case, ensuring he would not be deported or detained, at least for now. A spokesperson for the Department of Homeland Security told ABC News, quote, "We have not reversed course on a single visa revocation. What we did is restore SEVIS access for people who had not had their visa revoked." For Good Day DePaul, I'm Aaron Gessert.
Pope Francis, many at DePaul still value the message he tried to teach. Good Day DePaul's Tori Trevino has more.
A pope who made change, avoided the norm, and proved to be a man of the people. This is how many across the world describe Pope Francis, including some at DePaul.
I suppose the one descriptor might be Christ-like. You know, he's like Jesus in the fact that he is very humble, he's very loving, he's very close to the poor, and he's fearless.
That's Dr. William Kavanaugh, DePaul Professor of Catholic Studies and Director of the Center for World Catholicism at DePaul. He says that Francis was what the church needed to go back to relying on faith rather than being self-referential.
In accordance with that, he pushed for nonviolence, for care for the poor, and for closeness to people on the margins.
The pastor at St. Vincent de Paul Parish, Father Derek Swanson, spoke similarly about Pope Francis's ideals.
As he was saying, that the priests need to go out and smell like the sheep, meaning you need to get in the trenches and work with the people you're at and be with them, not tell them what to do, but to accompany them. And so I think that's sort of been his tenor since he was a bishop as well.
As many mourned the loss of Pope Francis, DePaul held several events to honor him. These included a lunch with Vincent in honor of Pope Francis, where Father Stan Chu Elo shared personal experiences of spending time with the Pope.
Rather than grieve the death of someone who believed in me and many other people, the best way to pay tribute to him is to tell the world that this way of living is capable of healing the brokenness and woundedness in our world today. That this way of living is capable of transforming our collective destiny. Because the world today is caught in a logjam.
DePaul professor Ken Buddigan shared what it was like meeting Pope Francis in 2019 during a conference at the Vatican about digital advancement.
It's like he's the only person and I'm the only person in the room. There are 400 of us there, but this is what people often remark on. He was so into closeness and being with, and I experienced that. So I took that as a cue, and I asked Pope Francis. I said, Pope Francis, I teach at DePaul University, the largest Catholic university in the United States, and I would respectfully encourage you to share with the world and the church the teaching on nonviolence. And he didn't give me an answer, but he had that beamy thing going on. Then I handed him the book, and I expected him to hand it to his assistant. He took the book, he goes through it, and then he fixates on the cover, and it's an icon of Jesus. And it was just a powerful experience to have him kind of engage with that.
Kavanaugh says a story about Pope Francis that stood out to him involved the Pope's reaction to a man suffering with neurofibromatosis.
And Pope Francis made a beeline for him and held him and put his face right up next to him and held him really closely. And that really says something about him. And the man himself said later that people usually shun him, and to have somebody of that stature kind of come and be close to him was really meaningful.
Father Swanson says the Pope led the church to a more productive mindset.
I think he impacted the church in a very positive way, and I'm biased, with care for creation and being aware of how God created things, and then our responsibility as humans to make sure that it's lasting. And if we have caused damage, is there a way to challenge ourselves to say, how can we make things better? Or how do we not cause more damage as well?
Overall, many at DePaul were touched by the Pope.
So I see him kind of like a guy that I wouldn't mind just sitting down and talking with. I may not agree with him on everything, but at least I can talk to him. And he seemed like he had a great sense of humor. And so I always like to see that too.
I feel that we're having what the earliest biographer of St. Francis calls a wake of angels. We're seeing that wake of angels rolling across the world in thanksgiving that Pope Francis has been among us.
I think he was wonderful, and I think he was just what the church needed when he was given to us as Pope. And so it was wonderful to have him for 12 years, and I'm really sad that he's gone.
DePaul is the largest Catholic university in the United States, and Pope Francis is continuing to be honored here, including in the Lincoln Park Student Center outside of the Division of Mission and Ministry. For Good Day DePaul, I'm Tori Trevino.
Since its first day in office, the Trump administration has been trying to stretch the limits of executive power. I recently sat down with some people who voted for President Trump to get their thoughts on how he's doing. Since President Donald Trump took office on January 20th, the White House has been anything but quiet. With over 100 executive orders signed, frequent meetings with world leaders, and controversial tariffs that have set the stock market down in ways not seen since 2020. Trump won the election by both the popular vote and the Electoral College. One of the keys to his victory was winning swing states like Michigan. In many cases, that meant gaining huge support in places like Howell, Michigan, a tiny town outside of Detroit. 2 middle schools, 1 high school, no Target, and no Starbucks. A town that's part of Livingston County, where President Trump won by a landslide in both 2020 and 2024. We went to Howell to see why these voters support Trump so heavily and find out how they feel about his first few months in office. Tina Thomas, a Howell resident, has many reasons why she believes Trump was her perfect candidate.
I was worried about finances and things a little bit, and it seemed like the direction that we had gone previously just wasn't looking great either. And so I probably like that. I like, we are very supportive of our military and our first responders, our police, our fire and things. I wanted somebody that I felt was a little bit more committed to those professions and those people that are helping us so much.
Many Howell citizens feel that Trump is keeping his promises, such as a better economy through his use of tariffs. Travis Porta, a business owner in Howell, sees nothing but good coming from the President Trump trade war.
There's 2,400 workers laid off in our state of Michigan. Warren, Michigan, that used to build the Dodge Ram truck. Those jobs are now down in Mexico. And, we need to start bringing things back. And, the tariff war, I think is a fantastic piece, because I think when you look at President Trump, he doesn't like war. He likes financial war.
The most prominent name besides Donald J. Trump since January 20th is Elon Musk. His involvement with the Trump administration and his use of the Doge program has been raising caution for much of the country. But Hillary Pojakovich sees Musk as an integral part of the Trump administration's success.
He's everything. I think it's gotten so out of control through the last 60 years that nobody really took the time to figure it out. And it needed a special person with a lot of horsepower and a lot of people in place. And Elon has built his life and career around successful people that he could bring in that were willing to help figure this out.
Trump voters in Howell, Michigan seem hopeful for the next 4 years, supporting his trade war, his partnership with Elon Musk, and keeping the promises he made on the campaign trail. For Good Day DePaul, I'm Wayne White.
One project here at DePaul is working to start conversations about sexual assault and uplift the voices of survivors. Here again is Good Day DePaul's Aaron Gessert.
Each shirt tells the story of a sexual assault survivor. It's part of the Clothesline Project at DePaul. Its mission to remind survivors that they are seen and loved.
The purpose of the Clothesline Project is really to use t-shirts as a visual sort of art display of survivors' experiences. And so the t-shirts sort of draw students in as they're walking through the atrium, and it helps us to sort of start conversations around awareness of sexual violence and talk about ways that we can increase prevention on campus.
The Clothesline Project began in 1990. It's now spread to colleges across the country, giving survivors an outlet to tell their story. At DePaul, over 100 shirts made by past and present students are on display.
Students that have decorated shirts have said it's really cathartic for them, it's really healing, and it's helped them to start or continue that healing process.
1 in 5 women and 1 in 16 men experience sexual assault in college, but many of these incidents go unreported. Some at DePaul feel that with more awareness, the stigma surrounding sexual assault can be broken, and those affected can feel empowered.
I think it's a very stigmatized, or there's a negative connotation with conversations like this, but it's important to create these conversations to prevent this. By connecting through other people's experiences, I feel like maybe we're more likely to stand up for ourselves.
For Good Day DePaul, I'm Aaron Gessert.
When we come back, research into robotics here at DePaul's campus.
And spring flowers in Chicago. Those stories and more are next.
I think we should split. Split up? Why? I want to meet new people. People who need me. You new people? You're my left kidney. You only need one of me, man. And you have 2. There are plenty of people out there who are dying because they don't have one. Really? You'll be giving the gift of life. I could be a hero. Yeah. It's all win-win up here, buddy. Why don't you go and save a life, pal? You're doing the right thing.
Robots. They're still a mystery to many of us, but here at DePaul, researchers are trying to advance robot technology. Good Day DePaul's Morgan Kirsch has their story.
Autonomous machines like self-driving cars are becoming more common, but how can people be sure they're safe? Researchers like Stefan Mitch, a DePaul Associate Professor of Computer Science, and his Prove Lab are developing research and technology to help with just that.
There are instances where we have seen already accidents also in the past where autonomous systems make mistakes, and preventing those accidents is the main goal of the research, and that is the most rewarding part.
Mitch and his team use math to create software that helps ensure autonomous technology works as designed. If something's off, the system will catch it and send a warning. They've even developed code to check that crash avoidance in self-driving cars works correctly. Kubaysuddin Mohammed, a research assistant, helps develop and implement these systems.
My task was mainly on that was to avoid obstacles. If there is an obstacle, if there is a car in front of a certain car, and if there is an obstacle, it should stop or it should curve and get in front of that car.
One of Mitch's new research assistants, Mustafa Sami, uses Tesla as an example.
Tesla will run a stoplight, or they'll have some technical issues, and they're still tweaking that stuff out. So we're just trying to better understand that, so maybe we can help develop a better self-driving vehicle.
The research project received a $50,000 grant from the National Science Foundation. It's not just cars and other autonomous vehicles that can benefit from this kind of technology.
Industrial equipment in factories, but also things like community infrastructure, like water treatment or electricity equipment. All of those industries, whenever there's some automated process of it, those industries could benefit from the technology.
Sammy runs a simulator that shows how cars normally behave in different environments and conditions. Sammy says he was interested in joining the research team the moment Mitch discussed it with him.
He said, we're doing research on like autonomous vehicles and self-driving cars. And I like cars myself. So immediately I was hooked. I was like, dude, I got to get in this.
The lab has plans for expansion in the future. Mohammed is especially excited about seeing the impact of their work while getting hands-on experience with robots soon.
We are going to purchase robots, cars, small robots. So we are going to connect with them. So that's a lot of fun. I'm going to looking forward that with the professor.
Mitch has been working on this research for 13 years now. He expects the project to help change the way humans and robots interact in the workplace for the better.
The robot will adapt its behavior and adjust to collaborate better with the human.
Sammy says the best part of taking part in this research is the people.
It's amazing to meet all these people that are really like passionate about going above and beyond, not just like going to school, but like they're here to like really learn and like kind of like put themselves above the standard.
Mohammed values the team and leadership of the research lab too, especially Mitch.
He's one of the best team leader I have seen from my past as a software engineering career. So he's one of the most trustable team member.
Mitch has some advice for DePaul students curious about diving into research.
Search for challenges in everyday life. There are many problems out there that need to be solved.
With autonomous technology advancing quickly, DePaul's Prove Lab is working to ensure progress is made with safety and reliability. For Good Day DePaul, I'm Morgan Kirsch.
Spring in Chicago. On some days, it's gorgeous, and at other times, it's cold and wet. But one thing is a constant. Flowers. Beautiful flowers. Good Day DePaul's Francesca Corona went searching for the flowers of spring.
After 2 years of waiting, cherry blossom trees are finally putting on a show in Jackson Park on the south side. They're not just drawing in crowds, they're also signaling that spring has officially arrived in Chicago. For the first time since 2022, dozens of cherry blossom trees are in full bloom here. The city planted these trees in 2013 as a gift from Japan, and they've since become a springtime tradition. But recent colder, wetter seasons delayed the blooms until now. According to the Chicago Park District, peak bloom typically happens when daytime temperatures consistently hit the 50s and 60s. This month, Chicago finally crossed that threshold with temperatures reaching into the low 70s last week. And it's not just here. Over at DePaul University's Lincoln Park campus, signs of spring are popping up too. Tulips are opening along Fullerton Avenue, and the trees in the quad are filling out with fresh green leaves, bringing a little extra color and energy to the spring quarter.
My favorite part about campus in the spring, it has to be the vibe on the quad. When I was a freshman, I lived in U-Haul, so everybody was always outside and they're just enjoying the sun tanning, reading their books, hanging in their hammocks, and just enjoying the great weather. It's the perfect time.
Students say the warmer weather brings more productivity and a sense of community.
I think for me, it just makes me feel so much better about everything. Coming outside and seeing everyone out here, it just builds so much a community, and I think it's so cool. It feels like those college ads that you see, and it's yeah, this is what it's all about.
Yeah. I feel like when you go outside, even if you're not doing anything but you are outside, it feels productive. And when you're inside, you feel less productive.
Whether you're taking a trip down to Jackson Park or soaking up the sunshine here near campus, it's safe to say spring is finally here to stay in Chicago. For Good Day DePaul, I'm Francesca Corona.
In sports, the DePaul men's basketball team has signed 2 more players from the transfer portal. They are Amzil Dalalik, a 6'8" forward from Pitt, and Common Maker, a 7'2" center from St. John's.
And in women's basketball, DePaul has signed its first transfer of the offseason. Guard Azanik Mayo from Xavier.
In track and field, a strong showing for DePaul at the Drake Relays. Cash Allen took first place in the women's shot put and set a school record in the process. Darius Brown took first in the 110-meter hurdles, and the Blue Demons 4x100-meter relay team also came in first.
In softball, DePaul has lost 7 in a row. They're now 1-20 in the Big East and 14-31 overall.
Up next on Good Day DePaul, the Big Fest reveal.
And Demonthon, DePaul's dance marathon. Those stories when we return.
2004 Skateboard Championship.
High school, moped.
What about you, Slim? Anything?
Something.
Looks like Slim's got a little paper cut.
It's nothing.
Come on, man. No, I'm gonna make you tell me.
Hey, kidney transplant.
When, dude? I didn't know you were sick.
I was donating it.
Someone in your family?
You gave your kidney to a complete stranger?
Yeah, saved his life.
Wow. All right.
Everyone can save a life by being a living organ donor on matchingdonors.com.
Fest. It was canceled last spring due to the protest encampment. Now it's back and it's held its big reveal last week. I was there when they made the announcement. Sounds of Sheffield turned into a celebration in the Lincoln Park Student Center as students gathered for a live music and a surprise announcement. Electric violinist Alex On entertained the crowd with custom song requests, setting the mood for the big DePaul Fest reveal. Concert chair Aidan O'Neill did the reveal by showing a video to the crowd. DePaul University students can expect to see Baby Tate and a Boogie with a Hoodie at this year's Fest 2025 here hosted on the Quad, and the reaction from students were full of excitement.
Well, I think we have a really great headliner and opener, so I'm really excited.
I'm gonna be so honest, I don't know any of the artists, but I'm very excited.
And how did they make these selections?
We go through a lot of names, we figure out, okay, what's financially reasonable, what can we actually do, who's available, firstly, because you'd be surprised just like how many people just aren't available. But overall, that whole process, it kind of narrows down. We have a big list, smaller list, even smaller list, and eventually we have a headliner and an opener.
This year's fest will be special, with last year's concert canceled due to the encampment. For many, it'll be an exciting and an emotional night on the Quad. For Good Day DePaul, I'm Joseph Francis.
It's called Demonthon, DePaul's dance marathon for the kids at Lurie Children's Hospital. Good Day DePaul's Riley Moulton was there.
For many DePaul students, Demonthon is the happiest day of the school year, and this year is nothing short of that. Students participate in dances, games, and community events, all to raise money for Lurie's Children's Hospital of Chicago. The perfect words to describe the day: bigger than us. Demonthon's team has been working since last year to make this day successful, and on April 26th, their hard work paid off with this year's big event. Started in 2011, Demonthon hosts its signature event each spring, all to raise money for Lurie Children's Hospital of Chicago.
Grew to love it so much. I love helping Lurie Children's Hospital. I'm a health sciences major, so I would love to work in pediatrics one day. So just being here and being here with a lot of other people who love to support children and Lurie Children's Hospital means a lot.
We're on the pink team, and we're here with By Mu, and we're here just to support Lurie's Children's Hospital, and we're so excited to dance all day.
The big event features a variety of performances from musicians like Marcus Bailey and DJ Vestis, along with showcases by DePaul student organizations. Throughout the day, miracle families from the hospital share their powerful stories, creating heartfelt moments that resonate deeply with everyone in attendance.
My favorite part of the day was seeing Greta have fun with you guys and dancing. That was my favorite part.
Students also take part in the morale dances, choreographed by the morale team, adding energy and excitement throughout the day. The event fosters unity and hope for the miracle children, with students dancing for a cause much bigger than themselves. Clevenique Edwards mentions always coming back to Demonthon due to the community it presents.
I attended the big event last year, which is what's happening currently, if you hear the music happening in the background, and the community was just so overwhelmingly amazing.
Hearing the stories from the families, seeing the impact on students, was really impactful in my experience and made me want to return and keep coming to events like this.
Over 13 years, Demonthon has brought in close to $2.2 million for the hospital. This year, participants, donors, the executive board, and many others raised $114,021.76.
3, 2, 1.
Surpassing their goal from last year and setting a new record for the event. The Demonthon staff thank everybody for their participation and donations for this year's big event. Same time next year, you know I'll be there. For Good Day DePaul, I'm Riley Moulton.
That's all for this week's edition of Good Day DePaul. You can keep up with us by watching our Vimeo channel at Good Day DePaul or by going to goodday.depaul.edu.
And be sure to check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube.
And if you have any news tips, message us through the Good Day DePaul social media channels.
Thanks for watching. I'm Joseph Francis.
And I'm Lane Wyatt. Have a good day, DePaul.